You can find the video version of this episode at mountaintoppodcast.com/YouTube.
Live from the mist-enshrouded mountaintop fortress that is X and Y Communications headquarters, you're listening to the world-famous Mountaintop Podcast. And now, here's your host, Scot McKay.
All right, gentlemen, welcome to yet another episode of the world-famous Mountaintop Podcast. As always, I am your host, Scot McKay, and have I ever got a topic for you? You guys have heard me get on a soapbox around here about how I really want to find topics that are relevant to women and dating and being a better man and masculinity and stuff. But after 550 episodes, including all the snippets from the summits and so forth, it's harder and harder to do. Well, my guest today made that easy. But before we talk about her, I want to make sure you guys know where the website is. It's mountaintoppodcast.com. The Mountaintop Summit on Facebook is where you'll find a thriving group of guys who are looking to be better men and get better with women. If you're not there, guys, you need to come join us. We're having a lot of fun all over social media, now including Substack, on X, on YouTube, everywhere. I'm at Scot McKay, except for Instagram, where I'm at Real Scot McKay, because I wasn't the early adopter there. I was everywhere else. Oh, well. As I was mentioning, I'm just getting to know Melissa Shipke, who is from Philadelphia. We don't get a whole lot of people from Philadelphia around here, although I went to college there. And she is the founder of something very interesting called Pitch a Friend. And Melissa, first of all, welcome to the show. I'm so glad you're here.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Let's first of all talk about exactly what you got going on. And let's have you talk about it in your words, but I will preface it by saying I actually went to your event that you had locally here in San Antonio and had a blast. So I am coming from a position of actually having experienced what you do and loving it. So you've already got an ally, but you're the best person in the world to describe exactly what Pitch a Friend is. So please have at it. Tell these guys.
Thanks for having me on. Excited to share with you what we're doing. As I kind of chatted with you before when we briefed about stuff like this really happened by accident. So, I live here in Philadelphia. I work a 9-to-5 job in tech. I'm behind my computer all day. And so really started this as a way for myself to get out of the house and be more social, but then also kind of wanted to merge my love of PowerPoints and presentations and also just having a fun time out at bars and restaurants and places where folks...
Well, see, all these guys are falling in love with you already.
Well, I'm not single anymore, but it was, it really just kind of came about very casually with a brewery that I live locally to, where I pitched them the idea of this as a way to generate foot traffic for them on some of their slower nights. So the other kind of added benefit of it all is it helps, small businesses and, the challenges that they're facing post-COVID and bringing in business and having people going out more regularly on a weeknight. And really, it just tried to create a fun environment where people were talking to each other again, because I noticed so many people don't talk to each other when they're out at bars. And so the format of the event, essentially, folks sign up in advance to pitch their single friends in a PowerPoint presentation at these bars or restaurants in front of a crowd.
Pitch meaning sell other people on them.
Yep. So it's not your version of what you would put on your dating profile, or it's what your friends would say about you and what makes you great and what you're looking for. And you get to come as the single person to kind of just be celebrated by your friends and have the opportunity to potentially meet a love match or maybe a new friend or make some new connections in a very kind of low pressure, not awkward way that, we hear like normal traditional dating events are like a little bit awkward, like the speed dating and, having the scorecards for people. This is very, very much so like think, a house party with all your friends type vibe, just trying to really be positive and celebrating folks.
Yeah. Feeling like you're going to be scored and graded is a lot of pressure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I haven't been to a ton of like dating specific events before, but the feedback we get from people is just even when they're nervous about the fact that they're putting this, the power into their friends' hands and what they're going to say when they get up there. Most folks, respond to us very positively at the end, or we get emails after too, just saying like how much fun they had and how they weren't expecting to have that much fun or hear the things that their friends even say about them. So it's just like a nice positive experience to have in what kind of feels like a not so positive dating space today.
Yeah, there's a lot to talk about there, including the not so positive dating space that you refer to. I'm on record as saying online dating is on the downtrend. Dating apps, they killed the golden goose. Yeah, you hope so, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. More on that in a second. The online dating apps are bleeding money. They're losing business. People aren't going to buy into that anymore. They're sick of being led to believe there's someone on the other end who I could date, and yet I'm swiping, and nothing's happening. I'm not getting any connections. All I am is addicted to the process.
Yeah, it's a very passive experience now,
yeah,
too.
Right. And people are wise to it, and even the quote-unquote beautiful people are meeting each other going, hey, you don't look like your pictures, and you don't seem anything like you sounded in your profile, because everything was done by AI and everything was filtered, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
It's just very impersonal.
Yeah.
It's very impersonal to make an impression of someone based on a split second before you swipe left or right.
For sure.
This always was the problem with the online dating apps in particular. And unfortunately, the online dating apps poisoned the pool for the long form sites, and ain't nobody got that kind of attention span anymore post-COVID anyway.
Yeah. And then there's that like grass is always greener mentality too, of like, well, what if, if I keep swiping, I could get to something better or different,
right. Right. Yeah. And the women,
decision paralysis.
Yeah. Right. And the women get all this apparent affection thrown their way. But meanwhile, those guys were swiping at anything that would fog a mirror. It's fraught, the whole thing. So along you come, and I wish, honestly, I would have found out about your gig about 2 months ago, because about a month and a half ago, I actually ran a masterclass for these guys saying, hey, look, I may be burning my own ships here, proverbially, but I'm not going to talk about online dating anymore. It's a losing battle. That ship indeed has sunk. If I burned it or not, it sunk on its own. But what the deal is, and I'm talking to these guys, I'm sure you're well acquainted with everything I'm about to say, Melissa, is that you still have a smartphone, you still have a computer, we still live in this age. What are you going to do with your smartphone and your computer to actually meet someone IRL? And I had no fewer than 40 different ways to do that in my masterclass. But the one thing I didn't have was pitch a friend, because I hadn't heard of you yet.
Yeah, PowerPoint's the way to go.
I'm telling you. I mean, and listen, man, my masterclass is all about PowerPoint, if these guys know that. I mean, it's death by PowerPoint. But I keep it fun and I crack jokes. My impression of what you're doing when I got there, my impression of especially the genius of what you're doing, and I want to hear the story about how you stumbled upon this. I think that would be fascinating. You're doing online dating kind of in reverse. In other words, instead of me getting on a computer and figuring out who I might like to meet, hopefully meeting them, you said to everybody, look, y'all come and bring your computer. And once we're all in the room together, and then, hey, you know what? Your buddy, that's genius too, by the way, because if I pitch myself, I sound like a douchebag. If my friend pitches me, then I've got approval. And people buy on the approval of others, right? It's a sales principle. Then my buddy gets up there and tells everybody why they should date me. They put an online dating profile together for me out of PowerPoint, basically. And while I'm sitting there, and while the audience of real people in real time, in real life, is sitting there, then we talk about what's cool about me and the bullet points and this, that, and the other. It is a reversal of the format of online dating. And I think this is the time and the place for it. I'm not surprised at all that this is in the zeitgeist. Right in the crosshairs of it for you.
Yeah, we started back in 2022 as myself and my friend Ariana here in Philadelphia, and started the Philly chapter. And the response we got was just so positive around just being able to meet people that way. Because so the format is we do the pitch portion of the evening first, and then after that's over, we have what we call like single mingle time, where we encourage you to get up and talk to people. The last slides, which are the ways to connect with the featured singles, are on a rotation in the background. So if you missed anybody's information, or you have other single friend that you're thinking of, you can snap a photo or go over and talk to that person. And so people just didn't have that experience and being able to connect so kind of authentically with folks, because you're given a lot of information about them through the pitches. So things that you can go up and start conversation starters with them. And so it just makes it so much easier and less awkward to make those connections.
Yeah, and I saw that in real life.
Yeah.
At the event that I attended. I was amazed also by your very strict rule. You're pretty easygoing, but you do slap a couple of guidelines on this. Yeah. And the one is, this is not a roast.
Not a roast.
This isn't a Dean Martin, Don Rickles kind of thing.
Nope.
It may be hilarious for you to get up there and talk about all the flaws and foibles of this person and blast them a new one. But this also is not, typically a stand-up comedy show.
Yeah. We do have a lot of comedians who do love to do it. We have a lot of people in comedy and improv that host the chapters for us. But yeah, it's meant to be a positive experience. We do, we definitely want people to tell the truth about their friends. So they may say here are some of their red flags and things like that. But it's always done in a really nice way that, we don't want anyone to feel bad about the experience. There's already so much hate in this world. We want to something that have a positive experience with it.
Yeah, I noticed the green flag, red flag format.
Yep.
Yeah. There was a standard procedure, kind of a SOP that was a best practice, if you will, that was presented to people to help make it easier.
Yeah.
But I think that very much goes along with the spirit of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Not feeling like I'm going to get roasted or humiliated or called out makes people feel more comfortable.
For sure.
Making the presenter feel as if they would have to be a stand-up comedian would dramatically reduce the number of people who are going to get up there. Yeah. And I did see how you have some stand-up and improv people who run things in other cities, and that a lot of their buddies, their cohorts at open mic night are often the ones who do the pitching.
Yeah, we want to keep energy high and make sure people feel comfortable, because we do have a lot of people who are very introverted who just really love their friends, who really want to pitch them. And to me, those presentations, the ones done by the professional comedians are, they're always great. But the ones done by the introverted friend that doesn't do a ton of public speaking, I think are the most genuine. And also too, the crowds we see just want to support, and they're cheering on those folks as they're presenting to make them feel comfortable. So it's just a very beautiful experience.
Oh, and the world is starving for something social and positive.
Yeah.
Because we're so sick of looking at the headlines and everybody politically being pitted against each other, and all of a sudden thoughts and prayers are this horrible thing. I mean, we're not like that in real life. We're not racist. We're not men going their own way and feminists who can't stand the other gender, and we're not thinking about, who I voted for when I talk to other people. In real life, people just want to live their best life, and everybody wants to get along no matter who they are.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's fantastic. And I think that you're putting forth that value effectively.
Yeah, and I think too, just getting people talking in real life again is a big piece of it. Because when people go out now, and we hear it from the venues and the bars that we talk to, the owners, people don't talk to people outside of the circle of people that they're out meeting. And so it's created this really weird dynamic that if you are a single person and you're out and you do see someone you want to approach, it's very difficult to do it. I mean, when I was in my 20s, you could go out to a bar and say hello to anybody. That does not exist anymore.
Which wasn't long ago. You're not very old.
I'm almost 40, so.
Well, in the grand scheme, that was this century.
Yeah. But, things, COVID definitely accelerated that significantly there. Sure. And then just what was going on with the iPhones and everybody on technology all the time. And then the dating apps really added that extra layer that I think pushed it over the edge.
Yeah. Even before COVID, you would see groups of, Generation Z people all buried in their smartphones sitting next to each other.
Yeah.
What are you doing? And then after COVID, people were like, well, wait a minute. You mean I can go out and be social again? Do I have to go out and be social again? This whole door dashing through life was actually kind of nice. I've been poisoned by social media into believing radical things now, but I really don't like people, and this helped me feel good about that. But then we realized, hey, you know what? Human beings are literally born to be social.
Mm-hmm.
And we're starving for it, but we were rusty, weren't we? And then, just lately, it seems like people are blossoming again, coming out of their shell and wanting to be social. So when you do break the ice, like if you do have the cojones to go up to a huddle of people who all know each other at a venue and say, hey, how do you all know each other? They'll look at you and go, oh my gosh, wow, someone friendly, come join us. And you're like flabbergasted at how friendly people are.
Mm-hmm.
But we fell into a habit of not being so social.
Yeah. Yep.
And you represent the solution.
We're trying. I mean, we still get during like the mingling time, we still hear from people that are like, can there be more structure to this? Or like, I'm not quite comfortable. And it's different in every city, but I'm always like, okay, who do you want to talk to? Let's go over to them. Like, and I try to get people feeling comfortable. And I know a lot of our event hosts are like that too. Cause while Ariana and I started it here in Philly, it grew so quickly that we then put up on our website for folks who were interested in doing it in other cities and hosting through our training program and things like that. We ended up hearing from like 528 different cities across 22 countries that were looking to have Pitch-A-Friends in their area. And so it was nuts to hear from these folks that now I've gotten to speak with people around the world around like, what is dating like there? And what, what's the social setting like in Ghana and like all in Egypt. I've literally spoken to somebody probably in like every country at this point, countries I didn't even know. I had to reference a map, but it's just been really wild and just to hear like culturally, there's definitely things that are different place to place, but at the basis, what we're seeing is like people in every
Human
culture
nature.
love their friends, love the relationship with their friends. People have single friends that they want to support, and then globally, they all hate the dating apps. The experience on the dating apps is not great anywhere. So it's kind of the right time for an event like this to emerge.
People are social. People are human. Human nature is similar. Masculinity and femininity and attraction are similar. It's like the language of love is universal, kind of like math. I think that's amazing. And yet, I attended your event, and I noticed even afterwards, armed with all of these talking points about 7 different people in the room who were verified as single, people were still mostly socializing with the people they came with.
Yeah, I mean it's a slow movement, but we're definitely getting more and more, and people more and more comfortable. I definitely think it depends too on like the space setup, and so we try all these different kind of venue sizes, and there's really not any ideal, but we do notice like if it's like at a restaurant where it's like seated tables, people are less likely to move around as much, and so we have different games and things that we kind of sprinkle in to encourage that as after we assess the venue. Did they play? You mentioned red flag, green flag. Did they play the red flag, green flag game at your event?
I don't know if they played a red flag, green flag game, but I noticed it was a feature of
a lot of people,
if not every one of the PowerPoint presentations, most of them
mentioned it. Yeah, and a lot of our cities we do
icebreakers.
Yeah, we do like an icebreaker with actual like red flags and green flags, where everybody has one of each, and then we put different things up on the screen, and it's like hates cats, and then everybody raises whether or not it's a red flag or green flag to them, and texts their mom every morning, like, and you just kind of
we did that. We did do that.
Yeah, and so that's a fun thing too, to just get a gauge as to like what the room is like, and also for some people like they have strong feelings of like things that are green flags for them that may be red flags for other, and so I think it's also provides like an awareness piece to different people's different desires and compatibility.
Well, that's true. A red flag to somebody. One person's red flag is someone else's green flag.
Yeah.
But, as you're talking, admitting to one's own red flags is kind of like being asked, what's your greatest weakness in a job interview? What are you going to answer?
Yeah, but
I'm too focused.
Doesn't like to cook, or, uses AI DJ. Like, they're always usually kind of silly, but people have like strong preferences. The one that I would say is most conflicting, like split all the time for red flag and green flag and different every time, is whether or not they do pineapple on their pizza.
Oh, it's not if you voted for Trump or not?
No, that one's, depending on the area, pretty
straightforward.
Pretty unanimous at our events.
Yeah, it wasn't here. It was split down the middle.
Interesting.
Yeah. That's a good thing. You can tell a lot about a person. talk to us about how you stumbled upon this idea. You don't take credit for having invented it.
Well, so
you and your counterpart, you call it a happy accident.
Yeah, so I hang out at this brewery, like I mentioned, that's down the street from my house, and I'm close with the owners there. I do
Good
some
woman.
art projects. I have to.
Like I said, these guys are falling in love with you more and more by the minute, Melissa. They don't care whether you're married or not.
But,
they still.
But what's super nice about it is it's a place where I don't have to text people to say, hey, I'm going to the brewery to hang out. It's just you show up and whoever's there is there. And it's an
like
age range of like 25 to 60s and just of folks that just, communicate. It's a very small brewery and just a really great kind of dynamic and community there. And they used to do a comedy night, and I was there one night for it, and it wasn't very funny. And I jokingly said to one of the owners that if they just let me do pitch decks of the single people in the area, I think I could get more laughs than the comedians that they were hiring to come in. And they just kind of were like, let's do it. Let's run with it. My background, as I mentioned, is in tech. I own a tech startup, so I used to pitch my business to a lot of investors back when I started it in 2014. And so it's different application of the pitch deck, and I thought it'd be fun to do for just some of the single people I knew. And the first event was just like me, my friend Ariana, and another friend just pitching the single people we knew who lived in the neighborhood. And you couldn't sign up to it. It was just you come to hear us pitch them, and people resonated really well, and they wanted to pitch their own friends. And so that's when we put a sign up together, and we started doing that kind of monthly, very casually, like literally the way they paid us was they covered my beer tab for the month. It was nice. Good arrangement. We did it like once a month. And then very quickly we started hearing from other venues across the city that wanted us to host it there. And that's kind of when I put my startup hat back on and built a bunch of back-end infrastructure and tech around it.
Well, wonderful. Yeah. It's amazing to think that you're in so many cities now, and it's blown up in such a short amount of time because, you caught lightning in a bottle with this.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And it's just been super awesome, too, to connect with folks that are just passionate about connecting people around the world. Our city organizers, they also have a huge range in their age. It's anywhere from like early 20s to we have people in their 60s that are host Pitcher Friend chapters. We have a main host in every city. Well, we have it in about 48 different cities right now. And we're on board.
Do you have it in the Villages in Florida?
No, not yet.
Or Sun City, Arizona?
Yeah. We are in Phoenix in Arizona.
I mean, where the old folks are.
Oh, no, not yet. But I would love to do a place because we do 45 and up events. We had actually here in Philly an event we had, which was a younger demographic and a kind of dive bar-ish place in South Philly. There was a 67-year-old woman who signed up to pitch her 67-year-old friends. And I emailed in advance. And I was like, just this is like this crowd is usually like on the younger average age or in like mid-20s. And they're like, oh, it's okay. And they came out and they like did a practice run with two young people who they were sitting near before the event because they were nervous about it. But then they went up there and they totally
brought the house down.
Oh my God. Yeah. People were like, it was so much fun. They were like, if you've got a divorced dad or a widowed uncle, like they knew the audience they were talking to and it was amazing.
That is amazing. Having gone to college in Philly at Temple.
Yeah.
I remember going to those venues for whatever they were doing.
Yeah.
And it was part of the mystique. I remember one time, I don't know if you're from Philly, so you probably remember the lore of a band called the Dead Milkmen.
I'm from Jersey originally. I've been in Philly for a while, though.
Jersey and Philly, there's a thing there.
Yeah.
The Dead Milkmen were like a punk band not to be taken seriously.
Okay.
They had silly punk songs. And they hit the national scene, but they were a Philly band. And I remember we went to see them. And we were laughing because it was in somebody's basement.
Yeah.
Downtown, like in a, God knows how old this house. If anybody has never been to the East Coast of the United States, it's the closest place you're ever going to get to like Europe in terms of God. How old is this house? It's like 17 something. This place was built, right? And you don't get that in Phoenix, right? So this was a perfectly decent house, but no, we had to have it in their basement, which was a dirt floor with like an old furnace, like in A Christmas Story. And there was literally a rat in the corner, like milling around. and they were just blasting, in this basement. And that's just kind of always been a Philly thing. We're going to go grunge on you. Yeah.
Sounds like Philly. We got a wide range of amazing establishments. Sure. We did an event with the 76ers in the 76ers arena. And so we've done like all shapes and sizes of venues and places. And it's just been really cool.
Yeah. Your grandmother's basement. That's not.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's great. Yeah. This has blown up. You have a huge chapter in Austin, you said. In Philadelphia, you're filling a stadium all over the world.
Yep. We're really big in Oslo, Norway. So if you're ever in Oslo, Norway, that's...
Norway is a wonderful place, but it's expensive.
Yeah, yeah.
You got to eat the brown cheese when you go to Oslo, Norway.
Yeah, I haven't been able to get out to the other chapters yet. I'm planning kind of like a road show to go see them. But yeah, we have a whole
write it all off. Business expense.
Yeah, but I just finding time has been tough lately. But yeah, it's very cool to just like have these awesome people hosting it in their different areas and seeing kind of the different partnerships that we've developed. We do a Pitch a Pet program too, so we also work with local shelters, and we will like feature an available foster dog or pets.
That's amazing.
For folks looking for that immediate companionship and love, we have that opportunity too.
Yeah, green flags, he's very affectionate. Red flags, he still pees all over the carpet.
Yeah.
Very similar to humans, right?
For sure. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Do you still have that first PowerPoint presentation from the very first pitch you ever did?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We have all of them.
I would take the first slide and like blow it up and frame it in my office. Like the first $1 bill you made at the, when you open a Greek restaurant.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we've had over, I think the number is like over 4,000 people have been pitched at between all our events so far. So it's just amazing to see.
Bravo. Yeah. That's in a very short amount of time.
Yeah.
Now I have a confession to make. I was going to be a fly on the wall. I really, honestly, I got to tell you, Melissa, I was going to behave myself.
I did. That was my plan. I heard about this. You broke our rule.
Yeah, I think I broke a rule.
It's okay.
I broke more than one.
Just for research purposes.
Yeah, and I told her I told my waitress that I was, just a journalist. I was just researching. And she was so cute and charming that we hit it off. And I said, I have a crazy idea. I want to pitch you. And she went, at first I said, no, I'll be very nice to you. And I went and I asked the person who was moderating if I could do that. Because, I think she would have liked to have had a bigger turnout. There were only 7 people pitching. So let's even it out. I'll do the 8th one. And so I paid her. I was a good boy. Paid my entry fee.
Did you get a free beer? You get a free beer too.
Oh, I wasn't drinking.
Oh, okay.
So someone else can have my free beer. I didn't know this woman. She was very cute and she had been very sweet to me, but all I knew about her was 5 minutes worth of conversation. So I didn't have a lifetime of experience. And I broke the rule. I went into stand-up comedy mode. I probably shouldn't have. But, at least I filled out I was a good boy though. I don't know how bad she made this out, but I was a good boy. I didn't pitch myself at all.
She didn't say anything about it. This is from you.
Yeah, I'm all self-conscious. But I didn't pitch myself. I didn't say, hey, mountaintoppodcast.com. I didn't do any of that. I played by the rules. I was a good boy. And I really liked the little gal who was the waitress, and I really, we made friends. So it was all very, very fun. But I joked about how we'd already, I found out she was my soulmate and we'd already married and divorced. So she's single again, all within the last 5 minutes. That was the joke. That was but I didn't mortify her. She was a good sport.
Yeah.
And she was also working while I'm pitching her.
Yeah.
But I really wanted in. It's infectious. That's the thing is I want to play. I don't want to sit on the sidelines. I don't want to be on the bench. If you go to one of these events, guys, and you don't have a friend to pitch or they're not pitching you and you just go, you're going to want to get off the bench. It's like being on a sports team. You're not going to want to be the bench warmer. You're going to want to go start for this team and play. You're going to want to go pitch for the starting team.
People really love it.
It's fun. Do you have repeat pitchers?
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes we have people, you know what's interesting? It's we have a lot of people, who are also single, and they'll pitch each other. But then we also have a lot of folks that are like the married friends, or we've had a lot of pregnant women pitching because this is like the time,
Pitch my baby. Anybody want to adopt a kid? Yeah,
No, the single friend has done all of that. They've done the bachelor parties, they've done the showers, bought all the gifts, they've traveled and like this is just something fun that those friends can do in return for the single friends that haven't, maybe experienced that yet in life. And so in that sense, it's not awkward to come to the event with friends that aren't single. We have some of our chapters are run by married folks who just like to connect people and want to see people.
As long as they don't rub it in.
Yeah.
Like, I'm married and I'm happily married.
Yeah.
I'm never lonely.
We don't allow any
someday when you're like me,
sure.
It's douchey.
But yeah, and so it's super fun to hear the perspective of like all the different friends. And also too, it's if you don't have a friend to pitch you, it's still fun to come and hang out and mingle and potentially make a friend there that you may see at another event and that get to a point where you are comfortable pitching each other. Or if you do have a good friend, you can come and scope it out and see what does well, and what things people include in their presentations that you see resonate well with others. It also helps you have really fun conversations with your friends that you may not have all the time. Like I've had friends who've asked me to pitch them. And I'm just like, okay, I would love to pitch you, but like you're a drinking buddy of mine. I don't know anything about like what you are looking for in a date or like goals. And so then I get to sit down and have those conversations. So it actually brings you closer to your friends that you're pitching to, because now I know like what their life goals are. I know their credit score. I know like all the intimate details, because I was like, I need it all. If I'm going to pitch you well, I need to be able to sell it.
My friend's Equifax score is a 680. Yeah. She's working on it. Yeah. That's
I know
that's
they're
TMI.
Uber rating,
one thing that comes to mind is, we were talking about the baseball analogy, which is inevitable.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'm searching for a joke to fit a punchline right here, but I actually formed a decent thought about it. This is still public speaking, which horrifies most people. So it takes guts, no matter who you are, to pitch a friend.
For sure.
And I think you've done a good job with it. But here's the punchline in search of a joke. Have you ever seen a situation where there was a relief pitcher? In other words, did someone get up there and they couldn't even, so another friend had to come up and complete the presentation?
Oh, no, never. No, I think we've definitely had a handful of like no shows, which and. It's not a huge, in most of our chapters, you pay like $5 or $10 to pitch, but you get a free drink when you it's really just to make sure you're going to show up and put a presentation together. We do some ticketed events, but most of the time the events are free to attend. And we've had some here in Philly where maybe like one person didn't show up, and our inkling is that, they showed up and saw how packed it was and then got nervous and left.
Well, if the pitcher shows up and the catcher isn't there, do they still pitch them anyway? I would.
So usually they have a different friend. If like a friend's late, sometimes it's like if they're stuck at work, they'll have a different friend do the pitch. Like we've definitely had
it's the other way around.
Who've done the deck where they're like, like, I haven't seen this before, so like I'm just gonna like kind of wing it with the slides.
And it's probably better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of times people are really, I think when it comes to, your friends, it's an easy presentation to give no matter what the slides are. And we've had PowerPoints that are like white slide, black text, super small, barely read it. You could tell they are not looking for a good presentation, but the story they tell with it is just so amazing and moving. We've had people who've done like full professional, very, very nice looking presentations with like animations and, voting and different engagements and stuff in it. People are very, very creative with it. And so we've had people with their family there that have QR codes you could scan to like get to baby pictures, or friends handing out Taylor Swift friendship bracelets that have their phone numbers on them.
That's tantalizing.
Or people who are like, my friend's a really good baker, and they bring some like bake good examples and stuff.
Pass out cookies. Oh my
goodness.
So that's dirty pool trying to get guys.
Yeah. We've had also friends who create like a fake email address, not fake one, a real email address where they can pre-vet. So they say, if you're interested, the last slide, you can email, baddiesforbrady@gmail.com, and the friends will vet essentially the potential dates. So people are very creative and have a fun time with it.
No pressure there.
Yeah. We've had flight attendants do them in a full flight attendants, the keep your hands in type. We've had people sing their pitches. So it's
your
been
hands
really
to
cool
yourself,
to see the creativity.
which is
Yeah.
what every flight attendant has to say when they're around me. Yeah.
But yeah, it's, you can definitely tell too, like what industry people work in, based off of, do they have like the slides set up? Some people have like an agenda slide, and it's a kind of a fun application of it.
Yeah, we're all human, right? Our personality is going to come out. I have to say though, I did notice that the people who gave PowerPoint presentations needed to get the memo that you have to have bigger print because the people in the last row can't read something this time.
Yeah.
And I got pretty good eyes for my age, and I was still going,
yeah.
Oh, okay. That's what they said. Okay.
I had some funny, there was a funny pitch once where the presentation was done really nice. And then the last slide was all just like type 8, and it filled the whole thing with text. And he's like, these are all like the warnings. And then he like skipped, it was like, you couldn't even read it. And then he's like, went to that last
just
slide.
take my word for it. They're there. Yeah. All right. Oh, this is wonderful. I'm so glad you and your business partner stumbled upon this happy accident, and that it's growing so much. And I understand completely why. You monetize this basically through the venues, because there's no way you're getting rich off of people paying hardly anything and getting a free drink to do this.
Yeah, so we do it. It's kind of like a trivia night. So we're entertainers coming in. We're managing the entertainment, so to speak. And
it's like they hired a band.
Yeah.
Make everybody happy and buy more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's brilliant. I love it, and I'm a huge fan.
Traffic, singles get more free opportunities. Dating apps and dating events and being single can be very expensive. And
terrible. Oh yeah, that's just another thing. So this is actually a cheap date.
Yep, and a great way too if you're just at a point too where you're trying to get out there, but you're not quite sure if you're comfortable yet. You can come hang out with a friend and make it very casual. It doesn't have to be anything pressure. You put the sticker on if you want to put the sticker on. That indicates if you're single. Otherwise, you don't have the sticker on, and you're still free to get comfortable talking to people.
Just another feather in your cap, and why guys should check into this.
Yeah.
And you're in how many cities now?
We're in 46 because we have a couple on pause because we're transitioning. We have city organizers. Life gets busy. They move, new jobs. So we're transitioning a couple cities right now, and then we're launching in like 5 new cities next week.
What are some of the key cities you have in the United States? So these guys, if they're there, they just here right now, they should check into it. Yeah,
I mean, we're in most major cities like LA, New York, DC. We're also in San Diego, Phoenix, Raleigh.
San Antonio, Dallas, Austin.
Yep. We have like a bunch of chapters launching right now in Florida. We've had Tampa. Our gentleman who runs Tampa Bay has been awesome. He's been there from he's one of our early chapters. We're also in a bunch of cities in Canada. But yeah, you can check it out on our website. We have the full list of active cities there, and you can also vote for your city, and that kind of pushes it up the leaderboard of areas we may come to next.
And if guys wanted to run a Pitch a Friend chapter for you, they can get in touch with you also.
Yep, through the website. We have information about what it is to run the chapter, and then we essentially you go through a vetting process, and then we have a training process, and then it's for you to run in your area.
Is it heavy duty or pretty lightweight?
It's pretty lightweight. Most of our city organizers do it as something in addition to their normal 9 to 5 as a way to kind of get out.
Background check. They're not an axe murderer. Yep. They know how to stand up in front of people. They're not going to scare small children.
And understand it's not a roast. We're looking for people who are comfortable with social media and just want to bring a positive experience to single folks.
I love it. I think it's great. I am so glad I discovered it. And and I want to send these guys to your website. Guys, it's Pitch a Friend with dashes, pitch-a-friend.com. Some other bastard has pitchafriend.com and won't sell it to her, so you know how that works. But I made it easier than ever for you, of course, because if you go to mountaintoppodcast.com/pitchafriend, I'll teleport you magically over there. Awesome. And so if you want to participate, first of all, see if your city's there. And if not, raise a ruckus, get in Melissa's inbox about it, and maybe even start your own chapter.
We're all over Instagram, too.
Guys, everybody's on the same page in this podcast studio about online dating and apps being in the rearview mirror. But you still have a smartphone. You still have a computer. What you going to do to meet women in real life? I think Melissa's handed you a golden opportunity. And Melissa, thank you so much for joining us. This has been just a great show. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah. I'm really glad we made this work. And guys, if you haven't been to mountaintoppodcast.com lately, go there, check out our sponsors, Jocko Willing's company Origin in Maine, the Keyport, and also Hero Soap. Check out what they got. If you want to partake of anything from our sponsors, please use the coupon code MOUNTAIN10, and you'll get 10% off, of course. Also, guys, download the free book, Sticking Point Solved. When you do that, you'll be on my daily email list, 61,000 people strong. You should be on it if you're not already. And I give you free daily advice on how to be a better man and to get the right woman in your life. Also, some of you haven't gotten on the phone with me yet for 25 to 30 minutes. I want to know who you guys are out there, hear your feedback on the show. And if it makes sense to put a coaching plan together to take you from good to great, well, we can talk about that too. But either way, I'm always happy to talk to you. All of that and more is there for you at mountaintoppodcast.com always. And until I talk to you again real soon, this is Scott McKay from X&Y Communications in San Antonio, Texas. Be good out there.
The Mountaintop Podcast is produced by X&Y Communications. All rights reserved worldwide. Be sure to visit www.mountaintoppodcast.com for show notes. And while you're there, sign up for the free X&Y Communications newsletter for men. This is Ed Roy Odom speaking for the Mountaintop Podcast.